Greetings. A few months ago, U.S. President Donald Trump gave the green light for ICE to detain any immigrant with a criminal record.
Tonight, the new Trump administration says targeted enforcement operations are now underway to crack down on violent, undocumented immigrants.
And we're getting them out of the country. We just started that. We're getting them out of the country, and they're going to be gotten out of the country fast.
The president signing a series of executive orders targeting immigration, declaring an emergency at the southern border, allowing him to deploy the military, moving to shut down asylum admissions, even ordering an end to birthright citizenship, even though it's protected by the 14th Amendment.
This mandate was subsequently implemented. However, only Spanish-speaking or Latin American immigrants were deported.
The mass deportation campaign is dividing Republicans here in California along various lines, with Latino Republicans showing the strongest opposition to the ongoing immigration crackdown. According to a new study by UCLA Latino Policy and Politics Institute, 46% of Latino Republicans disagreed with deporting immigrants who have lived in the U.S. for a long time. That's compared with 30% of white Republicans and 28% of Asian Republicans.
There is concern among some people in the Latino community here in the Triangle as Hispanic Heritage Month is kicking off. The Trump administration has been deporting people, and that's causing concern here at home.
A mother gets shoved to the floor in front of her children.
This is the freedom.
Another man arrives at the immigration court for a routine check-in.
I'm from Winston-Salem.
But before he knows it, he's taken into custody. And then there's a woman, an American citizen, who is chased by ICE agents as she heads home after a trip to the grocery store.
Because, according to the president, they were a danger to the country. It's understood that many of those Latino immigrants did commit crimes. And don't misunderstand me, but I agree that if they commit serious crimes, they should be deported. However, the point is that deportations are only targeting Latino Americans and labeling them as criminal terrorists. But the truth is different. During the Biden administration, 20 to 30 million undocumented immigrants managed to enter the country, increasing the population to between 30 and 50 million. What was interesting about those numbers was the number of countries in particular that, apart from Latin American countries, were included as China and Iran. Two years ago, the FBI spoke out and warned about this threat.
And new this morning, the FBI Director Christopher Wray is expected to issue a major warning to lawmakers that Chinese hackers are preparing to, quote, wreak havoc on U.S. infrastructure. The remarks will be Wray's most direct public warning to date about the threat that Chinese hackers pose to everyday Americans.
China's hackers are positioning on American infrastructure in preparation to wreak havoc and cause real-world harm to American citizens and communities.
Currently, Donald Trump is heading to his second meeting with Iran.
And the U.S. and Iran holding a new round of high-stakes nuclear talks in Geneva. This comes amid rising tensions. President Trump says he will be more than just a passive bystander.
What are you expecting from these Iran talks at Geneva tomorrow? So I'll be involved in those talks again directly. And they'll be very important to see what could happen. It's been typically Iran's a very tough negotiator. They're good negotiators or bad negotiators. I would say they're bad negotiators because we could add a deal instead of sending the B-2s in to knock out their nuclear potential. We had to send the B-2s.
And is preparing for a military intervention in Iran that is an armed conflict if Iran does not honor the agreements with the United States.
On correspondent Trey Yingst, he's live in Tel Aviv this morning. Hi, Trey. Good morning.
Dana, good morning. The second round of negotiations in Geneva, Switzerland, aimed at reaching a nuclear understanding with Iran, have finished. We do know from Iran's foreign minister, who just released a statement, that principles of understanding were agreed to with the United States. Now, Iranian state media says that technical details were discussed, including Iran's nuclear program, with uranium enrichment and stockpile levels being covered. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner participated in the indirect negotiations that were led by Omani officials, with Iran's foreign minister leading the opposing delegation. Overnight, President Trump was asked about the talks, saying this.
It's told that a deal is next to impossible. No, I think they want to make a deal. I don't think they want the consequences of not making a deal. They want to make a deal.
As negotiators gathered in Geneva, Iran's supreme leader spoke from Tehran. Amid a crowd that chanted and cheered, the Ayatollah Khamenei issued a new threat against the U.S. Navy.
They keep saying we have sent warships toward Iran. Okay, of course a warship is a dangerous device, but more dangerous than that is a weapon that can send that warship deep under the sea.
This gives you a sense of where things are at in the region. There is a massive U.S. military buildup. Iran's supreme leader is threatening to sink U.S. warships, and President Trump is aiming for diplomacy. Dana?
Okay, Trey, keep us posted. Thank you.
And that's when the same warnings of a cyber attack in the United States resurface.
Of the threat of potential attacks on U.S. food supply, cyber attacks, biological attacks, and also we're hearing attacks to the U.S. power grid. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the latest headlines that have been coming out. This just in the past 6 hours. You can see it on the headline here. FBI says U.S. agriculture at risk of cyber attacks and biological threats from foreign groups. We're going to be diving into all the details. I'm going to be sharing with you the video footage. After major Poland energy grid cyber attack, the CISA has now issued a warning to the U.S. audience.
Conclusion. If the FBI has been warning about these Chinese-funded hacker groups for 2 years, why doesn't ICE deport them and only focus on Latinos? Wake up.